Hey there, and here Barskaya AI Art, today with you discovering the biggest hidden gems and crazy theories about cartoon. So today we're going to discuss as regular theories such as why doesn't Mirabel have a gift, or is she really has on the other side and we just don't know about. What role does Abuela Alma play in here, and did Abuelo Pedro die or not? We're gonna go over connection with Encanto and other Disney cartoons as well, explore hidden meanings, symbols, and secret messages that were left by the creators. Let's get started. Who are madrigals? This beautiful cartoon Encanto simply tells us the story about the family where every single one seems to have some crazy supernatural abilities. And this is actually a very cool concept because I personally am a fan of magic and I just love that kind of stuff. Luisa got super straight, Isabella creates those beautiful perfect flowers, Peppo controls the weather, and etc. and etc. And on the Mirabel, not the last one, not the youngest one, but seems to be lacking that magical dawn. At first glance, the plot of the story seems pretty simple. Magic granted to each family member a unique ability, and Mirabel being an exception, simply trying to fit in and find her space. And where would be Disney if not that old-fashioned drama with finding your true self and the power inside of you? So here I believe the cartoon has just little more than that simple meaning. Why doesn't Mirabel have a gift? Many fans believe that even so, we don't actually see the power of Mirabel in her physical abilities as every other family member. Her true power did came out that night when she was small, the moment when she did touch the door and simply vanished. And yes, I know about this theory that she touched the clothes and probably that's why nothing worked out for her, but I'll tell you, no, it's just that her magic is something that lies beneath physical abilities. Instead, her powers, I think, relies in uniting her family, restoring harmony and understanding the true essence of magic. And this is the main reason why by an end, when she touches that doorknob, the house comes back to life. Her gift is something that cannot be expressed in a traditional magical ability. So yes, this girl definitely holds something much more bigger than super straight and good fertilizing abilities. No judgment, Isabella, but it can be better. Or no? The source of magic. Yes, I know we all tend to think that the vela, or how they call candle, is the main source of magic in the cartoon. And that's why once it turns off, magic disappears. Or isn't? Abuela Alma did suffer a great tragedy when she lost her husband. And at that moment, a miracle happened. A magical house appeared, and her blood relatives, including the children and grandchildren, did gain magical abilities. But as we all know, their gifts weren't all random. Everything tied to magic reflects Alma's own emotion and feelings. We all meant to think that the candle was a source of magic when, throughout the cartoon, we clearly have to understand magic comes from Abuela Alma's herself. Her fears, trauma, and emotions shape the reality around the madrigal family. And doesn't it seem so like somebody else's family ability? Or no? Yes, I'm talking about this girl. The candle was merely a symbol of this process, nothing else. Abuelo Pedro, Alma's husband, died while trying to save his family and his future generations. As they left their home in Colombia and he tragically died, his portrait suddenly appeared on the wall in Casita. And that leads me to a straight question: what if Abuelo Pedro's soul resides in the house, protecting his wife and descendants since then. Even when the house collapses, it uses the last of its magic to shield the family, softening Camilo's fall, Isabella's fall. When the powers fail, making a wall weaker so Bruno, one of his closest relatives, could safely leave the place. And how all that furniture gathered around Mirabel when she was about to lose herself in that crashing house, that truly gives me this vibe of protector of the family. Who was the Pedro? Wasn't he? This all mirrors how Pedro sacrificed himself to his family and the village to give them chance to escape, to survive. And moreover, his personality in Alma's memories resembles the way that house behaves. Even so, without saying like it's just in a more childish manner, but yet all that house wants is for everybody to be happy and safe. Symbols in the cartoon. As we all know, apparently people does not create nothing without an inspiration. So from research that me and my AI made, we find out that once upon a time there was an author. His name was Gabriel Garcia Marquez, and while he didn't quite write Encanto, he literally influenced it by writing his novel 100 Years of Solitude. And without doubt, its symbols, themes, and even visual storytelling seems as quite Encanto style. First, I would say yellow butterflies. Also, the 100 Years of Solitude were covering very similar topics, such as magical realism, when in Encanto it perfectly embodies in the style of the cartoon, where the family with magical abilities weren't treated as something extraordinary, but rather as a part of their normal existence, as it was in the novel, where the magical elements were a part of everyday life. Generational trauma, family legacy, the town that was very isolated and has this magical part, it's all been there, and I believe Disney did take some ideas, which is cool, because even though they don't give credit, we clearly can see their similarities. While Disney haven't officially confirmed that Encanto was inspired by Garcia Marquez's work, the parallels are too strong to ignore. Many critics and fans immediately recognized the influence, especially because the movie was made on this Colombian background. Even so he didn't write it, his spirit still lives in there. Oh my god, how much Easter eggs just in this one part. Color theory and the costumes and Encanto. We all know that the dresses and the costumes that every family member wears is basically a description of their magical ability, such as herbs and healing things on Julieta's costume, as well as the raindrops and sun on costume of Peppa. But if we dig deeper, we should understand that color choices were also intentional. Peppa's family wears warm tones, orange, yellow, as a reflection of their connection to the weather. Meanwhile, Julieta's part of the family wears cool colors, symbolizing calmness and healing. And what about the Mirabel? Her costume were combining both colors, all the characters, all the magical features that they've got, hiding her true gift within there, being the bridge that connects all family together. And did you know that Mirabel was the one who actually did the job by her costume? She did write and draw every single element by herself. That takes time and inspiration, so respect Mirabel. The destruction of Casita or Abuelito is the central part of the film. Home to generations of madrigals, was there as another character. He was always interacting with every single family member, listening to Abuela Alma's words and regularly shifting objects, dancing to Encanto memorable songs, and obviously protecting its inhabitants. When the house begins to crack, it symbolizes that family is falling apart. Magic of the house was directly tied to harmony and mutual support of every single member. Why is Antonio's door so different? As we all can see from pictures that were made on every single birthday of every single Madrigal member, we could notice that all their doors looks exactly alike. They've got older version of family member on it. And why is that? Antonio's door seems to be exactly the same as he is at that specific moment. So even so, we all clearly know his gift of magic was tied to animal world and understanding the animal nature. So why does his door looks different? There is going the theory that his magic also could be tied to time. His ability may grow up along with him and evolve, making him an immortal guardian of Encanto's nature. That's very cool theory that I could clearly watch, but on the other side, something tells me that animators probably got way too lazy to draw other doors with younger versions of old family members, or creating an older version of Antonio. But who knows? There is still space for sequels, so maybe we're gonna know eventually why did that happen. Is Bruno a Zeus analogy? Fans, some of them have noticed that Bruno may be an allusion to Greek god Zeus. Why? First, because his power involves foresight, much like Zeus' ability to see people's destinies, Bruno could see the future. Second, his attire resembles as an oracle. His clothes, ceremonial robe, old-fashioned look could be a clue to this theory as well. And finally, his crazy locked room with giant hourglasses resembling myths of gods living beyond time. Hidden Eastern eggs that you probably did not notice. I didn't at least, but ChatGPT spot them all. Doctor Who. When Antonio door opened, the triplet of the friends who were always there are shocked by how spacious it looked from the inside out. The line mirrors reaction from Doctor Who companions when entering the TARDIS, a time-traveling machine that looks small on the outside, but it was crazy big within it. Finally, in Bruno hidden room, behind the walls, there is a flower in the show resembling exactly the one that featured and was in a Wall-E. So I guess one day that you gonna go to space then. I don't know if you did, but my daughter clearly spotted it out. Isabella's dramatic swing from the second floor resembles Rapunzel's hair swing from Tangled. It does look similar, and that's why my daughter personally loves it so much. So let's give it a credit. How Encanto connects to other Disney worlds. We all know the Disney universes and Pixar and DreamWorks probably are connected. And this scene when the Antonio's birthday party and everybody's gathering up, we all see the lady who looks exactly like young Abuelito Coco. Could the Madrigal and Coco families share similar past? Or it's just that Encanto is one of many Disney magical locations? Disney has been expanding its Latin American storytelling since Coco's success, and while Coco focused on Mexico Day of this, Encanto brings roots of Colombian culture. Moreover, by timeline, we could definitely say that in 90s when the whole story of Coco was created, and she was very old. That issue was never clearly Mirabel could attend as a young woman Alma, the celebration, whose fears made her overly strict so and afraid of losing character. The movie teaches us an important lesson. Whole family, it's never about superpowers. Mirabel was about support, like love, her family didn't understand one another. Abuela was constantly emphasizing Mirabel ordinariness, show her magical power. She is the one who restored the family through magic. Encanto is a deep metaphor about family, fears, loss, and healing. Each reveals the new layers and hidden meanings. So, how do you feel about those Encanto theories, and do you want to see any more from me? I already prepared the next video for you guys, and that's gonna be very interesting, by the way, because we're gonna dive into the shots that weren't ever released and the other family members that been never showed to us, unfortunately. So, stick around, click that like button, and see you again.